Chicago, in the suburbs of Chicago. This was the bane of every lawn, of course. And it really was a surprise to me when I got into herbs that this was such an extraordinarily useful plant. And again, with paying attention to different parts and different seasons, in the early spring, we do have the small greens with the leaves. And the leaves will be entirely smooth on the back. Did you see any of those today, Leslie? No? It's dandelion, right? In Dantilion, right? You know, pissenlit, which is in French means wet the bed. The leaves of dandelion are a profound diuretic. I would use it therapeutically in larger doses for someone who has like swollen ankles, who has congestive heart failure. Something where we need to get the fluid out. So in a therapeutic setting, dandelion leaf is extraordinarily useful, more profound a diuretic than Lasix. And actually, if you have a cup of tea, you're getting a little bit of potassium, among other mineralizations. So you're not going to, pee out too much and get your electrolytes imbalanced with using dandelion leaf. It's an extraordinary tool. The root of the plant, which you have to come back in the fall or in the winter, is another wonderful liver herb. It's, what do we call it at herb school? When in doubt. Yeah. It's the when in doubt herb. If everybody needs a liver herb. You're not getting out of here without a liver herb. Okay? So you have to choose. There are a lot of different liver herbs. We're not going to talk about too many of them, but you can't get in trouble with dandelion root. Dandelion root raw as a tincture or a tea helps to gently support liver function. Dandelion root roasted is a great coffee substitute. Next slide. Nettles. One of the herbs you can identify in the dark. Again, we have 2 times of the year to come to nettles. Actually, 3. One is on the right here, the small greens category. Nettles, where I come from, nettles grow this big, And so I want to see them in the early spring. They're going to be starting in another month up where we live. And coming up out of the ground when they're about knee-high. You want to get after them and take your first harvest. If any of you are growing nettles, your neighbors probably want you to keep them to yourself. But it's a nettle patch in your backyard is like, oh yeah, this is mega nutrition. Again, I'll quote Michael Moore, my teacher, is that he would talk about, blue-green algae and spirulina and all that stuff. Wonderful stuff, superfood. He calls it pond scum, and it is actually. And he would talk about nettles as being a wonderful alternative to those very concentrated super green foods, which if you do them every day, because you have to, can be a burden on your kidneys. So don't do them every day. But a cup of nettle tea every day for a month. I lay down the gauntlet. I want you all to go to a secret garden. You've got nettles, right? Okay. And get some nettles. Make a cup of tea every day and then send me an email. No, just notice what you notice about it. Notice how you feel more nourished, how the nooks and crannies are filled in, potentially how that makes you feel more grounded. And then stop when you go, oh, that's enough. And that would be your adventure in spring with nettles. You can consider nettles at this stage on the right as being a food. Consider it and treat it like you would spinach. However, don't eat it raw. So you want to cook with it. I pickle it. Pickled nettles is great. You can blanch them and keep them in the freezer and use them in all of your soups and stews or spinach nettles lasagna. Good stuff, okay? Another alternative, another blood cleanser, and in the way that it supports the kidneys. It's a very important herb for people with problems with their kidneys. Then you have to come back when it starts doing this. These are the seeds, well, probably flowers, and then some seed on this. Kind of not real showy flowers, little green ones. And then the seeds, you come back and you take this much of the plant and you make a tincture. And in the seed, you're getting real antihistamine qualities. You're getting something that's going to help reduce allergic responses respiratorily on the skin by taking it by mouth. And I usually make a fresh plant tincture of that top part. I mean, if I could just pick off all the seeds, I would do all the seeds, but I'm way too speedy for that. Then you come back in the winter and dig the root. Nettle root is a major herb for supporting male prostate health and used commonly in practice now paired with saw palmetto, which we don't have a slide for because that's not growing here. Next slide.